Cardboard. It's plain, it's boring, and it's good for nothing, is what a fool might say. I happen to have a different opinion though, and believe that through the use of their cardboard kits, Metcalfe have created some of the most enjoyable builds, some of the best looking finished products, and some of the best priced model kits that I've ever come across. Now, I will say early on in this video, for full disclosure, that although we can look back at my YouTube channel and see that I have been praising Metcalfe kits and buying their products for literally years at this point, a few months ago they did send some kits out to me for free to put together. Now, that may make you feel that I am being impartial and maybe even have an outburst like this. Dan, you're a sellout, you're a shill, you're everything that's wrong with modern YouTube. You don't phone your family enough, your friends don't like you, and you wasted the best moments of your life spending them alone on some canal boat, instead of sharing them with somebody that you cared about. Back to the model railway. Anyway, in all seriousness, I'd like to take this as a moment to have an in-depth look at why I think these models are so great and share with you a few thoughts, a few hints and tips and things that I've learnt along the way. Let's get stuck in. At this point, it might be worth me mentioning that my name's Dan Brown and you're watching Sort of Interesting, but getting straight back to the video, I want to start with my first Metcalfe positive, which is the price. I've looked these up as I recorded this video a while ago, and still, that wonderful white pub building retails for £11, the church £14, and the signal box kit £10. And to me, those are excellent prices. I can't stress enough how much value and enjoyment I get out of these. But I wanted to just re-record this audio section with the modern price. Again, to me, that's an excellent, very low entry point to the world of modelling, and also keeping the barrier of entry low. Look at the minimal kit that you need: a few felt tip pens, some glue, some knives, some tweezers, and if you really fancy, something like this, one of these desktop light magnifiers. And if you really fancy, whoa, look at this, 2 of them. But in all seriousness though, it's such simple kits that cost you a few pounds, and that can be used to put together some of these kits that themselves don't even cost £10. So here I'm just opening 2 different kits that are on the opposite end of the spectrum really in terms of complexity and size, just to give you an idea of the scope and scale and variety of the kits available, and also the workload that they bring with them. Now, this is also a good moment for me to point out another thing that I think lowers the barrier of entry to making great looking models with these Metcalfe kits, and that's, unlike the plastic kits that you might get for the classic sort of Airfix ranges and Revel ranges, because these are printed cardboard, there's none of the fiddly paintwork and laying of transfers and things like that, which to me has always been my big downfall. So whereas with the plastic kits that you have to paint yourself, the paintwork really makes or breaks the build itself, which in this case is pretty much all done for you, except for those exposed white edges of the cardboard. However, as you can see through the magic use of felt tip pens, how easily you can make those white edges disappear. And originally I wasn't covering up those white lines as I was building these kits. So on the stonework building there, you can see every corner, every edge of the cardboard has got that striking white line. Whereas the pub that I've built here, looking at all of that roof work, the ridge tiles and everything, there's not a piece of white cardboard in sight. And it makes such a difference. And I know I've said about it in a previous video talking about that pub specifically, but I'm just so pleased with the way that looks. And I honestly think that at first glance, it just doesn't look like it's cardboard. So if we take a look now at my 2 sets of terraced houses I've built, this first set in the centre of the screen now, I didn't go over the edges of the white cardboard with a felt tip pen. These other ones though, I did. And if you take a particular close look at things like the capstones on the chimney there, and then as we pan across, just seeing where I've covered it up with grey on the previous chimney and haven't covered up the white edges here. I mean, look at the right hand side, how much better that bay window looks with the little white edges covered and felt tipped over. And it's something as simple as that, which may take time and it may slow the build down, but the finished product again I just think looks absolutely fantastic and so much less like it's cardboard. And that's a simple tip that is, well, literally a felt tip there for you. The final thing that I would like to talk about in this video is the ability to customise these kits almost beyond recognition. And in some cases, the customisation is right there in the kit, such as this warehouse that can be built as one big building like that. Or if we flip over to the back of the pack, you can see split into two sections so it can butt up against the wall, but ultimately look completely different. Now, my customisation is pretty simple and nothing like what some people have done online, and it really comes to the point of me just cutting holes in the back of these buildings or in the base of the buildings, so it makes it easy to put different light in and things like that. So obviously when it's dark conditions you can have stuff lighting up in the windows, but you get the general gist. Because it's cardboard, you can literally use scissors or a knife to very easily make substantial changes to these kits. And as you can see here, very simple electronic system of some fake tea lights there to add some flickering candle glow inside the church. So to end this video, I want to just talk a little bit about my continued love of Metcalfe models, as a lot of these clips were filmed a few years back, and believe it or not, I probably enjoy these models even more now than I did then. And back then, I of course had more of that novelty and newness feeling that could help propel me through some of the trickier, more fiddly bits of a long model build session. Whereas now I am more of a grizzled veteran of the model world, and maybe my hair is greyer, maybe my eyesight's infinitely worse and my fingers less nimble, but my goodness me, I can't tell you how much I love these models. And as I'm currently looking to build a mega loft layout at my girlfriend's house, I can't stress enough how many of these models I'm intending to ultimately buy and have built and strewn across my layout. I did actually build a 00 gauge layout originally before, as some of you may know, I lived on and off boats and so had to downscale to N gauge. And I'm so annoyed I didn't keep those models I made at 00 gauge, because I spent hours and hours making them, and I know some of them I'm going to redo for the loft layout that I build. But you know what? I don't mind that, because I absolutely love them, and I look forward to getting stuck in and building even more of these, and probably boring you all to tears with my endless talk of how much I love stuff like this. But anyway, on a serious note, I've really enjoyed these. Years after I recorded a lot of these clips, I still absolutely love them, and I will hopefully continue to do so for a very long time. So please subscribe for loads more modelling stuff and loads of stuff from boat life and the great outdoors. Until the next time, keep it loco-worthy, keep it interesting, have a fantastic day, and farewell.